Welcome to Japan and More, where we answer your questions about traveling Japan. Today's question is sharing food in Japan okay? Well, when we're talking about sharing food, what we mean is two people going into a restaurant and ordering one plate to share. There might be some occasions where this is okay, but let's take a deep dive into this and talk about when it is okay to share food in Japan.
So today we're going to talk about izakaya, shabu-shabu and sukiyaki, yakiniku, okonomiyaki, family restaurants, fast food, kaiseki, sushi, noodle shops, and paying.
Okay, first, let's talk about izakaya. Izakaya are Japanese-style bar and grills where you order dishes as the night progresses. You can order just small dishes of things, and everyone at the table is expected to share. Some people have said that it's similar to tapas in Spain.
In an izakaya, sharing is expected. So everyone at the table is expected to order a drink. It doesn't have to be an alcohol drink. It can be a tea or a soda, a ginger ale, or anything like that. When you order a drink, expect a table charge. A table charge is very customary. It's usually somewhere around 500 yen. It could be more, it could be less, depending on the establishment.
And that's per person.
And it's per person.
About 500 yen per person.
Right. And, there's no tipping. So that's sort of like a service charge, if you look at it that way. Another indicator that it's a place where you share food is there's usually a stack of smaller dishes on the table. You just pass those out to everybody, and when the main dish is served, it comes out, it sits in the middle of the table, and everyone takes a piece of food off of that plate and puts it on their small plate. Next, we're going to talk about shabu-shabu and sukiyaki. These are hot pot dishes. There's a hot pot in the center of the table. This is enjoyed by a group, family, friends, and everyone shares. Sharing is definitely expected in a restaurant like this.
Usually when you order for the entire table. You order many dishes and then everyone shares at the table. Next is yakiniku. Yakiniku is Korean-style barbecue that they do in Japan. There is a grill in the middle of the table. And again, you order for the entire table. You can order some meats and vegetables and it's delivered to the table and then everyone can cook the food at the table.
At this type of restaurant, again, you have the smaller plates, which is usually another indicator of shared dinners or shared meals. So you just pick the food off the grill and you put it on your small plate, and there might be some dipping sauces that you can dip the meat into, and you put it on your plate and then you eat it. Next is okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki is a very casual dining experience. Cooks prepare the food on a flat grill, and the dishes are prepared as ordered.
Although you may never have had okonomiyaki before and you just want to try it, it is not okay to share. It is expected that each person order their own okonomiyaki. Now, if you order one type, say a cheese okonomiyaki, and your friend orders a different type, say oysters, then you can share each other's food, but you're not supposed to order just one okonomiyaki for two people to share. And keep in mind that most okonomiyaki restaurants only serve okonomiyaki. So when you go there, you're expected to order a plate for yourself.
Next is family restaurants. The most common family restaurant chains are Gusto, Caesarea, Royal Host, and Bikuri Donki, which means surprise donkey.
Again, ordering one plate and sharing it between two people, or even three or four, is not acceptable. Each person is expected to order something, and then you can share at the table once all of the food has arrived. Let's talk about fast food. In Japan, you can find just about all of the fast food chains. There's a McDonald's on just about every corner. The Japanese national chain of MOS Burger, Subway, Burger King, even Wendy's. It's usually okay to share food at a fast food restaurant, but probably frowned upon, so everyone should still order something, even if it's just a drink. It's mostly because the places are small. A lot of these fast food places don't have much seating. They do expect only people who are ordering in the restaurant to sit down in the seats. They don't want people just sitting there that don't order any food.
Next is food stalls. And with food stalls, I like to include food courts in a mall or something like that. These are very casual, and you just go up, you order your food, and then you take your food to a communal area to eat it. Sharing, obviously, is okay. Nobody is going to expect you not to share or to share. So it's not uncommon, and it's a great place to go and try a bunch of different foods and, just buy one plate and share it with someone and then go on and experiment with something else.
And it's usually okay to just sit down at a table without ordering something. The only thing to think about is that you just don't want to occupy the table for too long because there are a lot of people waiting to sit down. Next is kaiseki. Kaiseki is a formal dining experience where each person gets their own set meal. Even though there might be a lot of dishes in the set meal, it's not possible for two people to share one kaiseki meal. When you order the kaiseki, you have to tell them how many people there are, and they will prepare the kaiseki set meal for each person.
Now, if you're at the place with your friends and family and somebody doesn't like one of the dishes in the kaiseki meal, that's okay to share. You can give that to someone and they in exchange for something else. It's not that you're not expected to share food in the set. It's expected that everyone must order a set. Next, let's talk about sushi. Sushi can be very, very casual, especially at the kaiten sushi restaurants, which are basically the sushi go-round restaurants where the small plates of sushi run around the restaurant on a belt. These are much more casual, and you can go with a group of friends or just a couple, and one person can just take one plate at a time. You're expected to at least take one plate if you're occupying a seat.
And then sushi can get very, very expensive and very formal. At these smaller sushi shops, they have what's called the omakase set, and these are per person. Even though you may want to just try some of the pieces of sushi and split it with your friend, it's not possible. Each person has to order their own omakase set.
And these places are really small. We're talking they seat maybe a maximum of 10 people. So you definitely can't go in there and just order like a 2-piece of sushi while your friend orders an omakase.
And then there's noodle shops. There are many kinds of noodle shops all over Japan. There's ramen, udon, soba, and you get a bowl of noodles. So everyone is expected to order their own bowl. You shouldn't order a bowl of noodles to share.
Again, these shops are very small and they don't seat very many people. So everyone that sits down at these restaurants is expected to order a bowl of soup. And finally, let's talk about paying the bill. In Japan, it's not common to split a check. It's much better if everyone pays with cash, and then you can just divvy up what everybody owes with cash. They will not let someone pay with credit card for one portion of the bill. So do not split the checks. A lot of restaurants will not allow that. Usually when you're done eating, you take the check that's on the table and you take it up to a register. Unless it explicitly says to pay at the table, expect to take the check to the register and pay at the register.
And then when you get to the register, there's usually a tray where you're supposed to put your money. So don't hand the money directly to the cashier. Just put it on the tray and they'll take the money. Don't be surprised if they hand you back the change, though. It's possible that they might hand you back the change or they might put it back into the tray. Then before you leave, don't forget to say "Gochisousama deshita," which means thank you for this meal. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell us your questions about traveling Japan in the comments section below. We might answer it in the next episode.
And for more information about traveling Japan, be sure to check us out at japanandmore.com. Thanks for watching.